What's up, YouTube? Tim Reese. In honor of Spider-Man No Way Home, I am going to be doing my reviews for the Spider-Man films leading up to No Way Home. So, here is my review for the one that really kicked off the superhero genre. Maybe I should say kicked off, but maybe one of the best superhero movies there is, and that is the one that really kicked off the Spider-Man phrase, and that is the 2002 classic Spider-Man, directed by Sam Raimi. Of course, the guy Sam Raimi is the man behind movies like Evil Dead, most recent Oscar and Powerful. He of course has Doctor Strange coming next year, so it was really interesting to see him being the one to direct this. Now, believe it or not, there was other directors who was once attached to direct Spider-Man, including Roland Emmerich, Tim Burton, Ang Lee, Chris Columbus, Barry Sonnenfeld, Michael Bay, John DeBont, director behind Speed, M. Night Shyamalan, Tony Scott, David Fincher, but they actually went ahead and picked up Sam Raimi, and of course, he ended up casting Tobey Maguire, which of course really is the trend because there was actually other actors who was actually one who they actually also wanted for Spider-Man. Believe it or not, the likes of Leo DiCaprio, Freddie Prinze Jr., Jude Law, Chris Klein, Wes Bentley, and Heath Ledger were all considered for the role of Spider-Man. But Razorly, but of course, Raimi ended up going with a fresh face like Tobey Maguire, and rest is history. Tobey Maguire is so good as Spider-Man. He also plays Peter Parker really well too, but him as Spider-Man is terrific. Of course, you have a great villain here in William Dafoe as the Green Goblin. Believe it or not, William Dafoe actually beat it out Nick Cage, Jason Isaacs, John Malkovich, and Jim Carrey all for the role. And of course, you also had Kristen Dunst as Mary Jane Watson. And either Kristen Dunst was terrific. James Franco as Norman, as not Norman, as Harry Osborn is great. I mean, I really think James Franco is a great Harry Osborn. I know it's awkward to talk about James Franco nowadays, but before the accusation and everything, he was still really good Harry. Of course, you had Rosemary Harris and Cliff Robinson as May and Uncle Ben. J.K. Simmons did such a great job as J. Jonah Jameson. Uh, you also had Bruce Campbell. Was it Sam Raimi? Obviously, Bruce Campbell appeared in this. Uh, Ro- Macho Man Randy Savage. Like the wrestling scene is one of my favorite scenes in this movie. I thought the scene between Spider-Man and Macho Man Randy Savage facing off against one another was a really cool fight scene. Macy Gray even portrays herself. Lucy Lawless, aka Xena Warren Princess, also appeared in this as well. I mean, it has some really cool supporting players. Anyway, yeah, the original Spider-Man, like it always holds up. It of course got released all the way back in its release date was of course May 3rd, 2002. I guess you could really like X-Men really kicked off the superhero genre more, but Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, is still it's the one that really brought more superheroes to get released in the future. And yeah, the fights, of course, the fight scenes between both Spider-Man and Green Goblin is insane. Like I think William Dafoe does such a great job at playing the role of the Green Goblin. He's so menacing as this role. He is really creepy. Like he plays his role just perfectly. Uh, of course, the chemistry between Peter and Aunt May I really enjoyed. The web stuff is really interesting. Like I also did quite like the story of how Peter Parker becomes Spider Man. Of course, the whole Uncle Ben getting shot thing is really it's a little sad, but man, of course, the iconic line of great power comes great responsibility is one of the most iconic lines in superhero movie history. I mean, this movie is just so good. Has obviously the upside down kiss between Peter Parker and Mary Jane is so iconic. I mean, it's a great movie, and yeah, we end up getting two more films with Tobey Maguire after. Hopefully, we'll see Tobey Maguire in the new one, but that has to be what I say. That aside, yeah, uh, the original Spider-Man just holds up perfectly, and I just adore it. Anyway, let me let you guys. Have you ever seen the 2002 Spider-Man movie? If so, what story? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Favorite scenes? Favorite moments? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Timmy signing out.